Hi friends, welcome to another video on career and Vedic astrology. In this video, I'll be discussing about the D-10 chart or the Samsa chart. Now the Samsa or the D-10 chart is a very important divisional chart in anybody's horoscope because it is the detailed information about your 10th house. It is the division of your 10th house, and 10th house is about professional life, 10th house is about your career, your fame, and so on. So 10th house becomes a very important house in your chart. Hence, the division of that particular house, which is your dasamsa or D10 chart, becomes an extremely important chart. It is the second most important divisional chart after Navamsa in your chart. Now, what exactly is D10? What importance does D10 have in your life? And how to read a D10 chart is what I'll be talking in this video. Now, let's talk about what exactly is D10 and what to see in a D10 chart. Now, D10 basically, as I said before, is the division of the 10th house, and it's the detailed information about your 10th house. D10 talks about how good or bad will be your career or professional life. It will not tell you what kind of career path you need to choose because that you need to see from the D1 chart. So people do get confused, and my research tells me that D10 is best used to see what or how good will be your career, how comfortable will be your career, how good will be your relationship with your colleagues, how good you will do in your career, how happy will you be in your professional life. All these things are seen from D10. But if you want to know what kind of career you should choose, what kind of career is good for you, that you need to see in the D1 chart. Now, in D10 chart, the most important planet is Saturn. Why Saturn? Because Saturn represents service. Hence, you need to see when you're looking at the D10 chart, you need to see how strong is Saturn in the D10 chart because it is the significator of D10. Because D10 is about your how good your professional life will be, your service will be, and Saturn represents that. Even in the Kala Chakra chart, 10th house is Capricorn. The ruler of Capricorn is Saturn. Now, in D10, the few important things you need to see is one, how is Saturn placed? Because Saturn will tell you, if Saturn is well placed, that means that you can face adverse situation well in your professional life. It means that your career will have good longevity. Yeah, it because Saturn is about that. So you'll have a very long lasting career. Even if there are ups and downs, you'll be able to face those things. So that is what Saturn will help you do. So that's one of the very important thing in a D10 chart, to see how Saturn is. The second most important thing you need to see while seeing your D10 chart is what is the 10th lord in the D1 chart doing in D10. How strong is that planet in D10? If that planet is pretty strong in D10 as well, then that gives a lot of durability to your professional life. That gives a lot of strength to your professional life. So that you need to see. Now, third, come to the Lagna Lord of D10 chart. If a D10 chart will also have first house, and the Lord of that house, where is it placed, how it is placed, with which planet is it conjunct, which planet are aspecting that, you need to see all those things. Of course, conjunction and aspect are far more important in your birth chart or in your lagna chart than D10 chart, but you need to also see those things. Now, if the lagna lord of D10 chart is well placed, that's very good for your professional life. If it is adversely placed or it is placed in a difficult house, then there can be a lot of ups and downs in your career or in your professional life. Now, once you see that, then you move to other planet placement. How are other planets doing in your chart? Which are the planets which are well placed in D10? Which are the planets which are not well placed in D10? Say, for example, Jupiter is pretty strongly placed in your D10 chart. That will tell you that you'll get a lot of happiness in your professional life. Your work will give you a lot of satisfaction. You will be always happy. You'll be always interested to work. But a difficult Jupiter in D10 will suggest that you may have a difficult professional life. You may not be very satisfied with your with your work. You may not be very happy with your professional life. Now, for example, Mercury is well placed in your chart. That clearly tells you that you know how to speak, you know how to communicate in your professional life, with your colleagues, with your boss, with your subordinates. You know how to talk with them. You know how you can, you can spread your message. But if it is not well placed, then there'll be difficulty in communication as far as professional life is concerned. You may not be very analytics, you may not have an analytical mind if Mercury is badly placed, because you need to have a thinking mind, and that's kind of take a back seat if Mercury is badly placed. Similarly, a Venus will give a lot of grace to your career, will give a lot of grace to your professional life, right? It will bring that smoothness to your professional life. You'll be able to smoothly handle difficult situation. So that's Venus for you. Now, Sun. If Sun is strongly placed in the D10 chart, you will be a leader. You will take decision very well. You will command a kind of respect from your colleagues, even your boss, your subordinates, right? You will be considered as a person who has leadership qualities. But if it is badly placed, then you will have unnecessary egos. So you'll be considered as a person who is highly egoistic, somebody with whom people will not get along very well. Now let's come to Mars. If Mars is well placed in your D10 chart, you will be able to, fight when difficult situation comes in your chart. You will be able to fight uh, fight well with the enemies in your professional life. You will be able to be firm, courageous. But if Mars is not well placed, is placed in a difficult house and so on, then there is a possibility that you'll pick up fights with your colleagues which are not required. You'll pick up fight with your bosses which are not required. You may not have the courage to face difficult situation. You may not be very firm. Those are the things which you need to see from a Mars point of view. So whenever you're reading a D10 chart, the most important thing is, what is Saturn doing in the chart? What is the 10th lord in D1 chart doing, and how is it placed in D10? What is the ascendant lord or the Lagna lord of D10 chart, and how is it placed? Where is it placed? What kind of a lord it is? Once you see those things, then you look into individual planets. Each planet represents something, and each planet will play a role in your professional life. I repeat again, D10 is required to see how good your professional life will be, how comfortable your professional or your career will be. Will you do really well in your professional life or not? Will you get, the fame which you will get, will you be able to hold that fame or not? Will you be able to use that in a proper way or not? But what kind of career you will be taking up, or what kind of career is best for you, is not to be seen from D10. For that, D1 is the most important chart. D1 will tell you what kind of career you need to see. D10 will tell you how good will be your professional life. That's it, guys. I thought I'll make a quick video on D10 because I was covering career. So if you like my video, kindly subscribe to my channel. Please share my video. Take care. Bye bye.